MotoeXotica.com.
Hello and welcome. The international faucet here at MotoeXotica keeps on flowing. And right behind me is a really special international. I know I say all the internationals are special, but this one is extra, extra rare. And we're going to tell about the fascinating story and the history of this truck. Recently, you might have watched the 68 Travelall, the red Travelall video with the diesel conversion. Amazing truck. As I told you in that video, that truck was not going to last long, and it sure didn't. It sold right away. Went to a fire chief down in southern Texas. Perfect. It was fire red truck, and he is happy as can be. So make sure you keep watching at the very end, because I have a great list of incoming internationals. Like I said, the faucet is running here. We have some amazing international trucks coming in, pretty much every flavor. If you're interested in buying a nice international, stay tuned, and I'm really gonna tell you what some neat things are going on. But meanwhile, why we're on this video today is talk about this amazing 1973 International Wagonmaster. So what exactly is a Wagonmaster? Well, that's a question a lot of people have, including myself, and I'm an international nut. You search the internet high and low, there's not much information on the Wagonmaster whatsoever. You can go through 10 pages of Google, and there's still not a lot of information on these wonderful trucks. Just to tell you how elusive this truck is, I love international, I love international history. I have read every single book out there about international. And if you have, or if you know a lot about international history, you know Patrick Foster has a fantastic book on internationals. It's if you're an international nut, you don't have this, I highly recommend it. It goes through everything. And it's got some great resources that are really right on the mark. But the one thing Patrick doesn't have on the mark is the Wagonmaster. So you actually go, there's one little snippet, there's a little bit of a paragraph about the Wagonmaster, and I'll actually read what he says on this. You have one little photo of it. It basically says 1973 models. On stage is a sharp new Wagonmaster pickup. Essentially a Travelall with luxury features. There's no gap back here. If this was a pickup truck, there'd be a gap for the bed. As you can see, this is seamless. So this is not a Travelall. What this really is a Travelall. The Springfield plant workers basically one day had an idea to chop off and make it to an exposed 5-foot bed. So once again, International was way ahead of their time. Unfortunately, it didn't sell well, and it was their marketing department that really screwed up, because they decided to market this truck to fifth wheelers, families with campers. Yes, you could put your whole family in here, and then you could put your fifth wheel, your hitch back here. What they didn't know is with this 5-foot bed, and the center of the axle is about right here. So if I put a hitch here, you really can't, because once you're going to have a little bit of an overhang and your equipment's going to hit the back of your bed. So that makes sure that you put your hitch about right here. Well, you're not over your center axle, and if you're going down the highway with a pretty heavy load, you get a little bit of wobble, and it's not a real good truck to pull a big fifth wheel. So the marketing team really screwed this one up. Production numbers are really hard to find. Some say 2,000, some say only 500. I do know they made most of them in 73 and only a very few in 74. This one's a 73. I have a 74 on the way. Supposedly, no one's ever seen a 74, and I have one coming. I've only seen 73 myself, including this truck and a couple other trucks. But long story short, truck way ahead of its time, came out too early for the market, was marketed wrong, and very short production of this wonderful truck. The International 392 is one of my personal American truck motors. It's built for low RPM. It puts a slightly over 300 pounds of torque at low RPM. Again, International was a tractor company, so their motors and their engines are, pretty much the same. They are absolute workhorses. This particular truck has a 392. Comes with other goodies such as power steering, power brakes. This truck in particular has been maintained very well. I bought this from a gentleman out in Denver who basically buys a couple classic cars every couple years, enjoys them, restores them a little, and really drives them. So he drove this car in Denver, and he was a really nice guy and told me all kinds of stories about it when I was interested in buying it. And he's like, Mark, when I first got it, it looked great, but the guy I got it from just, mechanically didn't, everything wasn't done whatsoever. So I went through the whole thing because I wanted to drive this around Denver every day. And on a nice day, I want to drive either my GTO or I want to drive this. And there's no doubt about now, if you look everywhere, everything's fresh. I have personally driven this truck for I would say about 400 miles last weekend. I absolutely loved it. I didn't have a single issue. It even drives down the highway really nice. I can go down the highway at 75 miles an hour, and it does the job. But anyways, it's the 392, power steering, power brakes, so it's got the power options you want. This particular truck does have, it's a factory air conditioning truck. It has everything you want for factory AC, it's still there. But the compressor isn't mounted, but we still do have the compressor. If anyone's interested, they can talk to me about that. I'm sure it wouldn't be too crazy to get that kicking and going, but I was so excited to get this truck and talk about it that it's in a box right now, but everything else is there. So besides the engine, that big beefy hood, come to the side here, the first thing you're gonna notice is the Rhino-Line exterior. So over the years, we've had quite a few Internationals that actually have this Rhino-Line exterior paint job. Actually, I think out of all the ones we've sold the past couple of years, this is number 4. So it's kind of a thing with the international market. Some people don't like it, some people love it. I find as long as it's done on a nice straight truck, solid truck, that you're not hiding anything, it works. And as you can go around this truck, it's not perfect, but the panels are pretty straight. As you can see, the gaps, the hood, everything, it looks great. This truck originally left the factory Brittany blue. The Rhino liner is still Brittany blue, and it's pretty correct because we still have original paint in the door jambs. The blue of the Rhino liner is pretty correct, so it matches pretty well. So I really dig that they colored the Rhino liner the exact same color as the factory. This is a factory 4x4 truck. Not all Wagon Masters were 4x4s. Some of them were two-wheel drive, some of them came with 6 cylinders, some came with 345s. This one basically is loaded with everything. It's got the 392, it's got the factory 4x4, that's why we got the front locking hubs, obviously. Another really cool part is the simulated wood on the side. I would say that some of the Internationals came from the factory with this. This has been redone. I have to say this is some sort of vinyl that's been clear coated, but it's a nice quality job and it looks really, really good. Especially the contrast between the Rhino lining, Brittany blue, and the actual simulated wood looks really good. This truck gets a lot of attention. Everyone honks, gives thumbs up. They love it. And now let's get right down what really makes this vintage truck special. 30 years before the Avalanche was even thought about, even produced, is this vintage truck has 4 doors and all the room. Again, it's very special for a vintage truck. If you want a vintage truck to fit your family, your kids, your dogs, and still have dirty stuff to put in the back, International is your only option, and it's a damn good option. And to round out the whole look of this awesome International, it has a nice set of aluminum wheels. It's got my personal favorite BF Goodwrench all-terrain tires. The tires are nice and fresh, so you got tons of tread to go off-roading, on the road, everything. Another good little tip, exhaust tip, is the previous owner really put a nice set exhaust on this truck, and this 392 is breathing. It sounds wonderful going down the road, that I promise. And the final is, again, it does have a 5-foot pickup bed with a functioning tailgate. And thanks for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this really special Wagonmaster. I hope you learned some of the history. I think it's fascinating. Again, ahead of the time, once again for International. Beat everyone by decades. And I really hope you enjoyed this video. To the next time. Oh, wait. You guys wanted my list of International. Hold on. For the ones who patiently waited through this video, and interested in some more Internationals, this is what I really have. This is about the this is the second week of October. I will have all these trucks. Some of these trucks I do have on the ground, but basically the rest of them will be on the ground in the next week. So I have a 76 Scout half cab coming. What's cool about this half cab, it has factory swivel bucket seats. Why does it have factory bucket swivel seats? You're just gonna have to find out later. I have a 68 Travelall, a lot like the red one, but it's in a I say a tan color. It's restored really nicely. It has the factory engine, does not have a diesel conversion, but again, it's a beautiful truck. I have another Wagonmaster, as I mentioned in this video. I have the elusive 74 Wagonmaster. I've seen 73s like this one. I've never seen a 74. I will have it. It is in hunter green. It's pretty. I also have a 39 D2 coming. That is International's first produced small truck, light pickup truck. Now, I know a lot of International guys say, no, Mark, you're wrong. The C Series was. No, you're wrong. The C Series was made by Willys, not by International. So yes, that was their first light pickup truck that they sold to farmers, but the first one they produced was the D2. And I have a 39 that's coming in that's always been in one state. It's had 2 family owned, both by women farmers. They're out there, trust me. And it's still has its quartz gauges, so stay tuned to that one. I also have a 65 half cab Scout in Grabber Blue. It does have the twin stick 4x4, which is nice. I have a 73 Travelall in blue, and it does have another Cummins conversion like my red 67. I also have a 74 200 pickup 4x4 with the 392. It's a 2-door, not a 4-door, but it's a nice blue color. It's a nice loaded truck for a 2-door. And I also have a really pretty dark olive green 76 Scout 2 with air conditioning. And it's in really nice original shape. It's been repainted one time. It's a sweet truck. So those are my Internationals coming in. If you have any questions or you might want to get more information before they actually go up for sale, Just like the red one, people were calling before, I was getting offers, and that thing basically sold before I had that one for sale. Maybe this one too. So if you're really interested in these trucks, I'm Mark. Give us a call at the office, and I would love to talk to you about them.
MotoeXotica.com